Andy, lunch is ready. I'll meet you up in the treehouse. My dad had built me a treehouse, and I remember reenacting the lunar landing by dressing up with all sorts of winter clothing. I actually had a bucket over my head, and I walked down the stairs of my treehouse. How was your day? Now, what have you been doing? Schoolwork? This is a magical place. It's held up in the air by cables and big timbers. But it's really held up into place by the dream of a little boy in the form of a middle-aged guy. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. What's wrong with you? The initial vision for this treehouse was a tiny little building. I anticipated something 8 feet square with one window in it, just this little place I could go to get away. But like so many little ideas, it just got bigger and bigger and higher and more complicated. It eventually became this ridiculous building. The treehouse is 300 square feet, weighs 6,000 pounds, has 21 windows, 2 floors, 2 porches, a tree branch that grows right through the building. To build the treehouse took 3 full spring to autumn building seasons of essentially every spare moment. The entire project was a labor of love. Yeah. I'm very glad it's over. I tell people when you're on the ground, you have to be what you are. But when you come up here, you can be anything you want. So you can just turn into a little kid again and pretend you're sailing a ship or piloting a rocket ship to the moon. You come up into a tree and all of a sudden your outlook changes completely.
Because you moved out of Czech, right?
I moved out of Czech.
You moved out of
My mom once told me, when I was a little kid, she told me, Peter, you can do anything. And I really got the feeling that she meant it. And she told me, she said, dreams are wonderful, but they're no good stuck between your ears, Peter. She looked at me very sternly and said, dreams need feet. You've got to get out and do them. Nuts! Wait a minute. Time out. Redo. Come up here and I've had a tough day. I'm grumpy. As soon as I walk up the stairs, I get a big smile on my face. Lay down on the couch and the world just drifts away and all the cares and worries go away and I'm not thinking about anything that's troubling. I'm within shouting distance of my family, but I'm 3/4 asleep and I hear birds and wind and it's just perfect. This place, it doesn't keep the little kid in me going because the little kid in me never left.